The Alienist has its premiere on TNT. And Steven Soderbergh's miniseries, previously released as a smartphone app, shows in a more traditional form on HBO. The Alienist 9 p.m. on TNT. The most expensive show produced by TNT is based on Caleb Carr's best-selling 1994 historical thriller about a psychiatrist, or alienist, as they were once called, in Gilded Age New York who tries to catch a serial killer. His team's method? Piecing together a picture of the killer's mental traits in attempt to get inside his head. Daniel Bruhl plays the title character. The cast includes Dakota Fanning as a headstrong secretary and Luke Evans as an illustrator. Their performances are bolstered by meticulously designed period sets and costumes, which help maintain the novel's rich historical specificity. Every detail matters. Jacob Verbruggen, a director and executive producer of the series, recently told the New York Times, "We could only sell this world if we made it 100% believable." Mosaic 8 p.m. on HBO. At the end of last year, the director Steven Soderbergh released a mini-series as a smartphone app that let users choose their own path through a series of videos. The story followed the disappearance of a famous children's author, played by Sharon Stone, whose lover, Frederick Weller, is convicted, perhaps wrongfully, of murdering her. Now, both those who gave the app a spin, the Times's James Pony Wozik, found it fascinating, if not ultimately successful, and those who are coming to the story fresh can experience it as a more traditional 6-part HBO series. 2 sides 10 p.m. on TV One. This 4-part series, narrated by Viola Davis, examines the cases of Eric Garner, Ezell Ford, John Crawford III and Sandra Bland, all African Americans whose deaths during confrontations with police officers or while in police custody added fuel to the national conversation about law enforcement bias and the use of force. The first episode focuses on Mr. Garner, whose death at age 43 in 2014 sparked a wave of protests. Independent Lens, The Force 9 p.m. For Peter Nicks's 2017 documentary, The Force, he embedded himself in the Oakland Police Department in California, chronicling, the Times's Manala Dargis wrote, a troubled department struggling and failing and struggling to right its wrongs. Mr. Nicks acts as a fly-on-the-wall observer, and the film strives for even-handedness. The movie may offer an incriminatory catalogue of organizational failure, Ms. Dargis wrote. But it also repeatedly shows people trying to make the system work. The Fate of the Furious on HBO streaming platforms. Tires squeal, custom cars flip and Vin Diesel's arms spin steering wheels in this 8th film in the Fast and Furious series. Punctuated by crashes and drums of doom, the movie moves to a dependable blockbuster beat, Ms. Dargis wrote, as a little exposition is followed by an action scene, and more exposition is followed by a bigger, noisier, nuttier action scene.